Welcome back to Tech Talks from Commercial Baking. In this episode, sponsored by Zeppelin Systems, I am speaking with Sean Hazley, Director of Food System Sales and Services, and we are diving into fermentation system technology. Hi, Sean. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Good morning, Joni. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
So, I am excited to talk about this because this is cool technology. Fermented foods have become quite popular with consumers, especially because of this knowledge about the health benefits that they provide. So, can you tell me how is this driving the need for fermentation systems for commercial bakers?
That's a good question. So, personally, I believe the fermentation processes have become popular in the baking industry because they produce a lot of metabolic byproducts that can quickly and naturally replace certain chemical components in baking agents. This allows products, especially our baked goods, to taste even better. In the baking industry, fermentation processes are used to produce sponges or liquid sponges and sourdoughs. Sourdoughs are necessary in the production of whole grain breads, which are prepared with rye, but it can also be used to produce different types of breads like white bread, baguettes, or tin bread.
I really am interested to hear about Zeppelin's fermentation systems because I think you guys have a lot of knowledge that you can share. So, what are some of the key components to a Zeppelin fermentation system and what kinds of benefits do they provide?
Yeah, so the key component for our fermentation system is the Dynamix. It's an extremely effective mixing and hydration tool. We've had it in our portfolio for many years, over 10 years, I believe. Currently, we use the Dynamix in lots of different processes within the food industry. However, in the fermentation systems, we use it specifically to mix flour and water in a very homogeneous way. After mixing the fermentation dough, our customers typically use fermentation tanks, heat exchangers, cold hold tanks to finish the processes. But these are the storage methods such as dough troughs as well that can be used to feed the Dynamix as well.
Does the Dynamix help with efficiency in terms of time? Because, when you think about fermented foods, just the average person, I think, would associate that word with time. These products take time to develop, but does this help sort of do it at a commercial scale more efficiently?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that is one of the biggest things. And as I said previously, because we're able to get a very homogeneous mix with the ingredients, we're able to kind of speed that process up. But there's other benefits as well. We're able to maintain a more consistent dough temperature and how we cool it. We're able to, hold those fermentation for much longer times as well.
I've known about the Dynamix for a few years now. It's a very well established technology, but overall, with technology that Zeppelin provides for products like sourdough and other breads, what are some of the latest innovations that you all are developing?
Johnny, we're always looking at innovative ways, right? Whether it's process or equipment, but looking at the Dynamix specifically, we've started working on a process of where we can use it for cookie and biscuit doughs as well. The process is in the early phases of evaluation, but it's very interesting and looks very positive. This is a good example, though, of where we've taken an existing piece of equipment that's been in our portfolio, like you said, for many years, and it's an established product, and we're looking at new ways to use it. So it's not just always coming up with something new. It's also learning to be able to adapt that technology and use it in other applications as well.
Okay, so this is very exciting to me because that means that it can enable bakers to expand their portfolio beyond just sourdough or beyond just biscuits if they want to get into sourdough. This is going to, when you expand on your technology, it allows bakers to expand on their product development too, right?
Yes, it's a very diverse piece of equipment. We'll continue to look at a lot of different ways we can adapt it to meet bakers' demands.
I love that, especially when you think about what happened during the pandemic with so many consumers really falling in love with sourdough just as a hobby to try and make it. And then they learned that it was really hard. And so then they still loved the bread and didn't want to make it. So they're going to their grocery stores to buy it. I love that you're enabling bakers to really innovate as well.
We're always looking at that. Zeppelin globally, we have our innovation days, and the entire purpose of that is to bring the global network together to look at new technology and new ways of doing things.
Okay, so can you share any examples of sort of success stories with Zeppelin Fermentation Systems technology?
That's a tricky question because obviously we have strict confidentiality with a lot
Right.
of our customers. So, I can't get into specific customers, but I'm sure many of our customers who will see this video will recognize that they're using a Zeppelin system. But, we've been building fermentation systems for well over 30 years in the baking industry. And, since then, across Europe and North America, we have roughly 200 systems currently in place. This is a part of our portfolio and our systems where we pride ourselves on the ability to create very high quality fermentation systems for liquid sponge and different types of sourdough.
Okay, so that just leads me to my last question, and that is how can a baker get in touch with Zeppelin to learn more about Dymomix and other Zeppelin technologies?
One thing that we do offer in regards to Dynamix, we do offer to come to a baker's location, assuming that the system will fit, which it has a very small overall footprint, which is a great selling feature as well. We have the ability to come test it at a baker's location in production, side by side with their existing system to test and if the application works for them. But the best way to get in touch with us is obviously through reaching out to one of our system sales engineers directly. They can also reach us via our website at www.zeppelin-systems.com, or they can email at info@zeppelin-usa.com, or by all means, feel free to reach out directly to me as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Sean, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. Fermented foods are so popular and so important because it is
Mhm.
how we as an industry can promote the health benefits of bread. And so I love that you all are enabling bakers to provide that type of product. And thanks for sharing the information with me today. It's really important.
Thank you so much. We're passionate about bread as well. So thank you so much for having me.